Hey,
yo.
yo. So the one AJ is a liar. Let me put our names up because that would help people. Yeah. So the one AJ is a liar. Why am I a liar? Because I said the whole ministry will be here. I promise you guys. When this show comes out, there will be 5 of us. Turns out there's only 3. One man is rearranging his front room. So guess what, Nico? You don't have a table this time. Yeah. And on the other side, we've got one man who's still on the road. So you know what, safety first. And yeah, he's not here. So right now, would you guys like to introduce yourself? Who's in the house?
Yo, I'm Den The Tech, the wrestling fan that don't watch wrestling. My catchphrase, I gotta say it all the time.
All right, Big Tone once again in the Zoom.
What I love about your one, Big Tone. Not that yours sucks, then. It doesn't.
Of course it sucks.
No, trust me, when I had to edit those videos, it was like, wow, he really does say this. But
hey, yo, everyone's got a catchphrase. That's my
This is
catchphrase. And
I actually feel like Tone's one opens the show. As much as I give it a hey yo, R.I.P. Scott, he goes in the zone, and when he signs out the zone. I'm like, yeah, show done. Fuck it, that's it.
Bookends.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That is what it's about. So, guys, last week we done our excitement at the Money in the Bank, one of the big 5 coming to the UK, and we've talked about how we're going to talk about the excitement of what's coming. As that show ended, I brought up this image here. Rumor has it that this gentleman, Vince McMahon, is coming back to the WWE. Now, we had a lot of mixed emotions as to what's coming on. Now, everyone was worried about who is Uncle Howdy, but did Vince sell to Uncle Saudi is the real question.
Well done.
Gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. We were at a point like, yeah, he's coming in, he's trying to make his money. And honestly, a lot of stuff was up in the air. We had our reaction videos and stuff. The part that bugged me and made me go, I'm hurt, I'm sad, I don't like where this is going, was this picture here. Stephanie McMahon announces she has resigned as CEO of WWE. And Steph has been in this game for so long. Paul Heyman used to call her the Vincess. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this.
That was good.
She is the duplicate of her dad. And I'm trying to figure out what is actually going on here. So then last time Nick kind of said something, and all you could say was, I echo. What is your current stand on this situation?
Well, I did call the line about they might sell to the Saudi on the last podcast, I believe, because Vince just wants a lot of money. So I thought he was going to go where all the money is. And I think right now WWE is worth $7 billion.
Damn.
Which company has $7 billion to spend on a company that television deals are going to be going away and everything like that this year? So the Saudis step in. I'm not sure if the deal is there, it's there, but I'm not sure it might not go through from my eyes, because they need to have a TV deal to make an actual wrestling company. And television companies are not going to want to sign on to a Saudi company because, they're going to look good for the tax break and stuff like that. But at the same time, you have going to the world. I watched some other wrestling show today, and they were talking about football. And in the football team, is it Newcastle that's owned by a Saudi company?
It could well be. Yeah,
and no one gives 2 shit. From long as they get a TV deal, that's all they need. So right now, in my eyes, I don't like that they're going with that way, because then it's privatized again, so they can do whatever the hell they want. But at the same time, and we will lose a lot of wrestlers that I do not want to lose, but no one cares when it comes to that, because they were firing everyone previously. Yes, they rehired a bunch of them, but people are going to get fired again, or people are going to leave. And I hate the fact, as you said before, the main problem I got is Stephanie leaving, because I thought she was going to be the next generation of McMahons that move forward at WWE. And McMahon might not be behind the wheel very soon.
Yeah.
That is shocking.
Big Tone.
Yeah, the whole thing is quite shocking, because I literally just watched a video about the history of the WWE from when they were CWC, the Capital Wrestling Company, and even back then, this we're talking about early 60s. Yeah, even I think even late 50s. Yeah, that they McMahon has been a part of wrestling. Yeah, so now we're coming to the next decade, and McMahon is it might not be a part of it at all now. Hell, it might not even be owned by Americans anymore. So it's a very interesting time that we're living in terms of like wrestling as a whole. What would this mean for the overall structure of wrestling? Will AEW automatically become the number one company in America by default because they're the only company in America?
Yeah, well, this is it, you know, and do you know, it's funny that you say that, like WWE might not be owned by American, because I actually forgot there was a time, like, I don't know if you guys had it, but my parents, partially my grandparents, used to watch wrestling, World of Sport. Not a lot, but they'd watch it. And they were like, oh, you always watching that American wrestling. Like, you saying that is the first time that it's hit me that, yeah, like, a lot of people used to call it American wrestling, and that could be gone. Going back to what you're saying, then, a lot of news has come out recently that it has been refuted. That it's saying that it's not going to Saudi Arabia, and apparently one of the last things I saw today was that it's gone up to Nick Khan has been in discussions with Disney. So you know,
yeah, that's
I saw that as well. But once again, the problem with that is Disney has been buying up quite a lot of products lately that they spent. Was it $4 billion on Lucasfilm? I can't remember how much they spent on Marvel. I don't know. I think how much hundreds of billions on marketing, but how much they spent on Fox, and then all that. Right now in the entertainment world, Disney is 37.5, 37.5 I think percent of all entertainment they own, which is very close to being a monopoly.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Very
I've
close.
also heard, and I'm not sure how true this is. I need to do some research before I say some of these stuff. But hey, work doesn't permit me to always get the research in. There are rumors that if Disney and I think companies like Uber are also backed by a Saudi company. You know, so it's interesting to see. I'm not saying indirectly that the Saudis will own WWE if it does happen, but some of the products, it just as you said it there, and talking the monopoly, it's like where people are talking boycott. If you dig deeper, you'd be surprised who else is owned by the same people that you hate or have a problem with and are threatening to boycott. What scares me? So here's the thing. I've had two trains of thoughts. And my first thing was, how did Vince become such an egomaniac that he saw his company doing well without him, that he had put himself back in this chairman position? And at first I was like, if it's a deal, then just do your deal. You are the man that you have to go with, and let's do that. When I saw Stephanie quit and there was the threat of the Saudis, I was like, this changes, because I know how much people have an issue. You know, something Nico put up was, does The Rock still do Mania? Because of the backlash that can happen with people's perception of Saudi Arabia. Now, I would like to make it quite clear, we are remaining neutral on this. We're just talking quite public opinion. I am not here, like, I've never boycotted a crown jewel, so I'm not going to be like, no, you can't sell to Saudi Arabia. That would make me the biggest hypocrite. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not a fan of Saudi Arabia from the practice, but as you stated, I've watched Crown Jewel. I still do the things like, you know, once again, I'm one of them first world problems. Oh, I want to boycott them, but you know what? I like the show, you know. I ain't gonna lie, a hypocrite and then some. That's me. In the case of, I don't want it to happen, but if it does, I'll still be at Mania.
Well, this is it. This is it. But it's who can go there. And one of the biggest problems is the person who couldn't make it to Crown Jewel. It's Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn is of Syrian descent, and the war that goes on between those two nations is something we have to acknowledge. And where does that go to? You know, those are the stuff I stopped to question. Now I'm going to drop my first hint of AJ fantasy booking, and it sounds weird because we're talking real life investments here. Did Vince come back? And I'm saying this here because, like, everyone's seeing it this way, and you know, I don't even know how legal it is. But we're talking about WWE going back to a private company, and we're talking about WWE not being owned by a McMahon. Has this man come back into a deal? And I'm not the biggest technical guy into what's legal or not. Has he come into a deal to make as much money as he can? Right? Make as much money as he can, sell the company to these people, retire, but that just leaves the door open for his daughter and son-in-law, because I can't see how you want to just give up your company to just open up another company, but it's based off of all this money, and it also buys them out of this deal. Because from what I know, WWE have got this huge deal where they're meant to be going back to Saudi Arabia, guaranteed for 10 years or something, based on the investment that they previously put in there, and that would they would be exonerated from it. Like, you would be free from that bond if you sell it, make as much money as you want. Because what scares me is what I've seen with the fall of WCW. You know, you're owned by a network, you're owned by someone else who doesn't have the passion that you have, and they shut it down because it doesn't go their way. And I'm like, why would Vince ever do that? And the only thing that came to my mind is, are they trying to play a game where they make as much money as he can for his retirement? And after a while, contracts will expire, and they've just got their own company, but it's not WWE. Like, essentially, what is a name? Risky.
I can't see it that way. I saw it as a feeler, like public, like this type of news breaking like so big that he sold out to this company. Wouldn't it usually come out so quick? It's like a feeler, like we're selling to this company. Let's see what the people are going to think about it. Oh, people don't like it. No, that wasn't true. Like it's weird, but I did say it could happen. I don't want it to happen. I don't even want Disney to own it, to be real. But
I want it to be McMahon owned. I can't lie.
I want a thing, but I think Vince just needs a lot of money right now. He's making money.
I'm going by what you just said, AJ, and the possibility of that. I think it might actually be a bit more heartbreaking to think that Vince actually doesn't care about WWE and wrestling as much as we all think, because, like, looking at it from his standpoint and even the history, it's really Vince that turned WWE into what it is today. It was him who brought all the territories. It's him that come up with WrestleMania. It's him that come up with Hulkamania. It's all these things are Vince's toys to play with. And now that he's been ousted, and now that it's universally like sort of a thing where they're like, oh, Vince was good back in the day, but now we just don't want him part of the company. Vince might be hearing this and think, we're all ungrateful. So you know what? Like remember that episode of Raw where he was like sort of crying throughout the whole show, then turned around and said, I'm going to destroy the WWE with the NWO.
I'm just going to keep it a Saudi.
Exactly.
This Saudi on the back.
Well, he turns around and there's a big mouse on the back.
But yeah,
do you realize if it is a big mouse, Charlotte Flair becomes a Disney princess?
No, because she's not a princess right now, so no.
But she's still the queen. But
yeah, I give this right. Well, going from your theory about destroying it to rebuild it, Vince, and also you, Big Tone, Vince never worked in a wrestling company. He works in an entertainment company. Yeah. So that's his thing, is entertainment. He tried the football company, XFL, twice, failed twice. He doesn't like failing in business. If he sells his company right now and he sells it for $7 billion, he will go out being the highest sold entertainment, sports entertainment company. Than anything. Because remember, was it WCW was sold for $5 million? Yeah. So if he gets the $7 billion, it's going to be crazy. Just like a $7 billion deal for WWE, and they're getting not just the wrestling part of it, because that's all they think about is wrestling part. And they own the catalog. WWE owns the catalog for the video library for so many other companies. 100%. That's a lot. And for him to give that up to just open up a new wrestling company, they're giving up a lot. All the WCW videos are gone. The ECW, all of those smaller companies, the FCW,
NWA, everything.
OVW, all of that is gone. Right,
I forgot about that. I must admit, when I said that is one thing I forgot.
And the main thing about what's again wrestling, we like it because we just get entertained by it. You need a network to put it on. Right now, WWE getting that money they're getting because they have that recognition that it's WWE. Starting over from scratch, Vince is an old guy. Yes, his son-in-law, his doofus daughter and his son-in-law, right? If they're going to open up a new company, think of TNA or Impact now. Think of AEW. They've been around for quite a while. We know it because you're fans. Ask someone else. Have you heard of AEW? They don't know who that is. ask them if they know about WWE. They were like, "Oh, you mean F?" Doesn't matter. They're still there. They ask, "Is Undertaker still there? Is Hulk?" They're asking for old people that we know from back in the days. No one's talking about like, "Oh, have you seen AJ Styles? Who's that?"
Yeah.
Oh,
Kenny
that
Omega,
guy.
who's that?
Kenny Omega. He had a 7-star platinum match recently, and they were asking, "Kenny Omega." Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, is that what it looks like? Okay. Cool. I bet
he
it's
looks
Stone
like
Cold beat him.
in the wedding singer. that was my initial reaction.
It's a totally different time now. Wrestling is not as big as it once was. Hopefully we get back there, but it's not as big as it once was. I really don't want Vince to sell, personally. If he sells, he's going to go for the highest price. And I don't see Disney spending $7 billion on it. The Saudi companies, whatever companies, they've got the money to just buy it and let WWE still remain the way it is, as if a Saudi company is not going. And as you mentioned about Sami Zayn, don't forget about someone like Sonya Deville as well. She's openly gay. And so, yeah.
Do you know what? It even stopped something like the Acclaimed signing, because Anthony Bowens is, openly gay. Like, there were so many angles. Okay, I don't know if he is. It's been a while since the Prime 10 players are about, but you can't Aaron Young return, I mean, the biggest thing that would happen is Mansoor. John Cena, The Rock, it's that. And then you've got someone like Mansoor, who's homegrown Saudi. There's no chance he could carry on with the gimmick he's doing right now. I mean, let's be honest, this last Crown Jewel is the first time Mansoor was not there. Because the maximum male model was not going to happen over there. There's a lot that shakes up in that, I don't know how involved they get into it, but then I'm not saying that on a perverted front either. It changes the women's attire if they're going to openly enforce their rules,
Forget the attire. Women's wrestling is done. Think about this. The first one, no woman was there. So much so they had their own pay-per-view the next month. Where's that pay-per-view gone? Anyway, the next, oh, we have one match. I'm so proud. Oh my God, look how advanced and progressive they are. They're letting women wrestle in full cover thing. The second time there are 2 matches, so it's improving in the wrestling part. Does anyone there know it's happening? The audience is like all male.
Yeah,
they might show 1, 2 female going yay. To me, it looks like plants, but I'm not even going for that. I know we're just, but it's just you don't understand. It hurts me right now. What's going on?
What if? And this is the problem. This show. But even if we had all 5 of us, has changed from an expectation show. We would have been like, well, I can't wait for The Rock to come out at number 30, throw 10 Little Road is over, go to WrestleMania. To, excuse me, I hope this company's still here. That's the problem.
Can I jump in and play like devil's advocate though? I was thinking it like, us as wrestling fans might also be overthinking this whole thing. Like, for instance, there's a very good chance that Saudi Arabia knows where it is. They are business people, and they couldn't give a jack shit. That's how it's ran over here. In their country, it's a different thing. Yeah, you have to be respectful. You do have to cover up. Yeah, the ladies are going to have a minimal role, whatnot. Yeah, but like over here, they've got to understand that the Western audience is a different audience. It's a different flavor. They'll be like, silly to do things like, oh, we're gonna like cover up all women, or we're gonna minimize them off the show, or people like Sonya Deville and Sami Zayn aren't gonna be louder. If they do that, then they just spent 7.2 billion on nothing, because people will go. And like, as much as we've always said, it's WWE, they're the main company. You know what? Times change. Yeah. NWA was once the main company, and then someone overthrew them. You're only as king as long as you're king.
I want to follow up on that, what you're saying there. Once again, the wrestlers don't matter. I'm sorry to say it, but look at some people on top got let go. They don't really matter. It's all about that numbers. Are they making a profit? Yeah. The problem with that though is this is the year for the re-signing of the TV deals. Are the television companies going to be happy to sign WWE knowing that they're owned by this company, like a different company? They're not looking at it as like, oh, we don't want to sign it because we just want to be morally right. They don't care about that. Is will people that are boycotting us for bringing a team on board, like, you know, get what I'm saying? They just want to. If this was if the deal wasn't for the rest of for like a little while, like another 2 years, that TV deal, I'll go fine. They're stuck with it. Was it what are they on the USA Network right now?
Yeah,
USA and Fox.
They'd be going great. You're stuck on the USA. The USA, you're stuck with us for another 2 years. Then we can renegotiate. But because very soon the USA is going to start going right, cool. We're not going to retake WWE, or if you're going to retake them, we're only going to give you X amount, which is like a lot less.
Well, let me just touch on something you said. I do think maybe not one individual wrestler could turn the tide of anything, but the wrestlers themselves are really assets, aren't they? Yeah. And if enough of these assets are not on the TV anymore, people will tune out. A lot of this happened. This is where the major fallout happened at the end of the Attitude Era. Like when everything changed, there was no Rock, there was no Austin. The theme sort of changed from how it was all wild and everything. And then with the PG era, the decline continued. So imagine overnight, that we're saying that somewhat like some of the biggest stars take umbrage to them being aligned with Saudi. Yeah. A lot of people, even more, going to fall off. And this is in itself impacts the overall profit. And I feel that Saudi isn't going to be so silly and gung-ho to do things that are going to, influence the bottom dollar.
When is WWE most profitable year? It was after the Attitude Era. It was during the ruthless aggression era. That's their most profitable years. That point, that little block, was when they made the most amount of money.
That's because they changed business structure and like there was the only guy in town.
You know, one of the things we have to like pay attention to is like we could talk about. I mean, yeah, some of it we might be going too extreme. I'm too hardy boys, but like I'm realistic in the fact that we could talk about people having to dress, and I agree. Like you keep it Western in the West when you're over on our side, keep it there. We talk about stars and like the whole boycotting, but let's be honest: Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, they've all taken that plane to go there. AJ Styles has been there. So it's not going to be like, oh, now that you own it, fuck it, I can't do it. So in a way, they will be comfortable. There might be a bit of backlash, but as somebody once, and I'm reading it, and I shout out to Barry and Smarks, and he'll turn on Insta when they say this, like, or someone else, I can't remember who directly tweeted it. Half the companies who make money off of WWE, right? The JDs from NYs, the Wrestle Talks, the What Cultures, Should We Be Lucky, the Ministry. Not that we've ever threatened to boycott it, but are you really going to boycott the biggest form of interest you've got? You can't.
I've already said it. I'm the biggest hypocrite in this way of saying, I don't want them to do this. I hate that way, but I end up still going there. I would end up still being part of this group, talking about shows. Yes, I say my catchphrase, but I read up things, see the group chat, and then watch those little clips. That's my way of viewing wrestling. I still get entertained by it, those little pieces, and when I watch it together with y'all, I'm entertained by it. I frankly, personally, don't really care who owns WWE. I don't want I want them to be better than they are. I want to be good. I want to be a morally good company. At the same time, I watch Disney movies, and I know as a technician how badly they treat their techs. But it happens. I go with other companies. I know how bad things are. It's not all roses. It's just
business. Sadly to say.
It's not even just that. It's going back to Vince. He feels like a spiteful old bastard right now. And I don't even know if it's true. And I hope he's not being a spiteful prick. Even in the group, I put, we've got a WhatsApp group and I put down, I think Stephanie left because of what's been happening with him being sued for pretty much cheating on her mom all this time. Yeah. And she can't be around her dad. And I thought that was it. I don't know what's going on, but I thought that was it. Then I heard about the Saudi deal. And I was like, maybe she leave because she doesn't agree with the Saudi deal. Then maybe she just left because she originally left and came back to just help out while her dad was away. No one knows.
I think her resigning is what makes it that bit scary because she was taking a leave of absence. I mean, Nick made a good point. Maybe if it was a Saudi deal, you can't have a woman in charge. Like it's a point that you have to recognize. There are so many angles. I think because we could go in circles on this. But my personal closing, if you guys have a closing statement after that, feel free to.
Yeah, I'll go on.
I have been a WWE fan. Like, Nick will forever aim at me like, oh, oh yeah, you vote that way because you don't want to know about AEW. You know, one time I can't make it to a pay-per-view, and it's like, yeah, I bet you'd have done it if it's Survivor Series. No, I can't make it, bro. Like, sorry, I can't. That's what it was. This is not the recent one. It's the ones before. Like, I was like, no, it's not that. Now, I have said it that Vince is the reason I'm there. You know, you go back to my oh my god moment. We'll touch on that later on. This is why I know wrestling. This is what I'm thankful for. I've seen the documentaries that the WWE have put out. I have seen when it's not owned by people who do not care about wrestling. I'm a person, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I have difficulty with change. And I don't want to see this company owned by someone who is not McMahon. I first thought it was Shane. Then I found out it was going to be Steph. And now for some reason, Vince is back and it's neither of his kids. It doesn't make sense to me right now. My head is still trying to compute. So whether it's Disney, just like you, Den, I don't want it to be Disney. I don't want it to be Saudi Arabia. I don't want it to be anyone, you know. And the problem is, we don't know when it's going to happen. Big Tone, I think you can remember the longest while when Nick was saying, and Nick, I'm not burying you because you're not here, bro. Fox will not be brought out by Disney. They can't.
Thank you. I made money from that.
I laugh about that because I was thinking, look, you never say never. And
you can never say never. And this stuff took forever. Every time we saw something else come up, he's like, it means nothing. It won't happen. Until it was officially done. And it was like, yeah, I don't trust that source. And then it finally came out from someone he did trust. He's like, oh, humble pie. And this is the same thing here. We can be like,
MGM will be owned by Disney Warner. Just keep saying that. Carry on.
Amazon.
Oh, no, sorry. Warner War by Disney. Yeah, they're already there. Not Disney, I mean Discovery. I keep getting it right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Discovery is stepping in.
Amazon.
So if this,
yep.
If this is the end of the McMahon era, it's a sad day. That's what scared me. I'm just scared of what companies who don't have the passion for the industry do to these companies.
Okay.
Yeah? So if it is that, thank you, Vince. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Shane. And thank you, Hunter.
Number 30. No chance in hell. The crowd cheers.
Exactly that.
Let me first address the thing that you were saying about Saudi Arabia and the moral standing of companies. Just like you were saying, nobody's clean, and like if we're gonna deep dive and look into them and be like, oh, you do things that I don't like. If you look enough at all of your favorites, you'll find stuff that morally you do things I do not like. If I had to do it for them, I had to do it for all of them. So I'm going to cut you watching. The only time I won't watch is when the product is just crap. Yeah. Now, to your point, AJ, there stands a good chance that if you put people in charge of wrestling who don't care about wrestling, that just want to make, profit, might become crap. But if I to see WWE go, it will be a very rainy, dark day if that ever should transpire. I don't think it will. I think they're too powerful no matter what. It will always keep going, even if it is just a shell of its former self. But then, there's so many alternatives now that, as a wrestling fan, I can always continue, man. AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Wrestling, NWA, Ring of Honor, is the same as AEW now, isn't it? Yeah. Even all your indie shows and your AAAs, your Noahs. There's so much that we're spoiled for choice. What's it? A Major League Wrestling, MLW? So much. Yeah. So as wrestling fans, we'll always have someone getting slammed to the mat. It's just whether you want to do it with what used to be the biggest you associated wrestling move. And if the sun is true, it's been a fun ride, But I don't think it will. I think it's a big machine that cannot be stopped. Let's just hope Saudi or Disney or Fox or whoever gets it does right by it.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're gonna move on from this, right?
You can close if you want to, bro.
No, I ain't got no close. I've been interrupting y'all and saying my little pieces. I can't help it. I'm so sorry for y'all don't listen, and sorry to you too because I can't help myself for some reason. Mute me. Why won't you mute me?
No, I don't think we've got civil today. It's not like a prediction show where everyone's like, hey.
But yeah, it is what it is. as I stated, biggest hypocrite here. Gonna end up doing it anyway, watching it anyway. And as Big Tom said, he will stop watching the shit. This is the guy that needs convincing to come back to it. I go to the live events. I watch the pay-per-views when I'm with the guys. I can't watch a full show normal still. So please.
Fair enough.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Bottom line is, who knows what's happening?
Oh my God, she looks good in that picture. I can't see that picture. I didn't see. Can you put that picture back up there?
You still got it. You still got it.
Woo! She's beautiful enough. Anyway,
right. Just a brief touch on AEW because I think we've done about half an hour. So let's do news before we go into a bit of a revelation of what's been happening. Apparently, this last Dynamite was all good. It looked like a very, very good show from what I've heard. Big Tone, I might let you take the reign. I'm just going to go on the part that got me gassed. This man is back. Adam Cole, baby, is back in the business. They talked after Forbidden Door that concussion was so bad, we might not have seen him back. Once he got the response he got, this is what Britt Baker actually put out on Twitter. I'm going to read it for the benefit of those on pod. For months, the only time Adam Cole Pro left the house was to go to brain/physical therapy appointments. There was a time he wasn't allowed to fly on planes or do anything more than go for a walk. I'm so damn proud of how hard he worked every single day to get back to you all. That. It looked like one heck of a journey. It looked like Adam Cole would not be back, and he was back. So to me, I don't care who was Crown Heroes champ. That was the big moment for AEW. But I'll let you take the reign, Tone, because I know Den has not watched it because he doesn't watch wrestling.
I saw him come out. I watched that part on YouTube when he walked out, and the crowd went crazy. And he did his boom, and the crowd went boom, and his boom's part of his song now. And the Adam Cole baby. So I did watch it.
Yeah, you've seen more than me then. I ain't seen it.
You know what was great about that moment is that Tony Schiavone's delivery of it. He said, "Oh, I'm about to introduce someone I don't like." And we all always expected it to be MJF. And we're getting ready to boo. But no, you hear that music, Adam Cole comes out and everyone just goes crazy. And I would say that is the pop of 2023 so far. Yeah. And it was great to see him back. Obviously, now that he's back, he has to act in a face capacity, really. Because, people love it. Yeah.
I don't know. Kenny came back and went back to heel.
When he first came out,
balance. Yeah. How many big faces are there at the moment? MJF needs to knock down a lot of people. Yeah. So if we're gonna keep MJF as the champion for a while, he's gotta knock down quite a few people, and one of the biggest would be Adam Cole. Yeah. So I would keep him face. He doesn't have to be. It could be a tweener. It could be whatever. Yeah. But I'm just saying, I would probably feed off the love that he's got, because what he cut was a very face promo. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a direct thank you to the fans for everything you've done, for the encouragement, and his main point was that they wasn't even saying we want you back in the ring. They were saying we just want you to be okay, and that moved him. Yeah, and he said that live on air. He's a face, man.
Hey, I thought it was going to be when he came out the first time when he debuted. He debuted as a face, walked out, the crowd went crazy, and then he kicked Jungle Boy in the heads. So all you need to do is kick Jungle Boy and you're a heel. So
it's true, but I just don't think they're going to do that this time.
Can I just say I like the name of their tag team, Jungle Boy and Jungle Hook. Like
that's a team.
Yeah, that's a team at the moment.
Yeah, if you want to go the rest of the show quickly, there was great matches, great spots. MJF again, so funny with his promo. I love the way he just runs off with it when Daniel Bryan comes out and he chases him. It's hilarious. Surprisingly, can I do spoilers? Is that all right?
This is not spoilers. This is the show.
Listen, this show's going to be out after Friday, so it's going to be pre-Rampage. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Hangman straight beating Moxley. That was great. I thought there was gonna be something shifty or shady to it, but no, he straight up hit the buckshot lariat, pinned him 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now and they sort of reverse roles now, where Moxley is acting all comatose. So obviously that's not done. They're gonna have one more like match where they try and kill each other, which is great. But it's a great show opener. Other parts, Soraya's match with Tony Storm and them. Yeah.
Who was her partner? Was it a surprise that everyone was
It
going
was
about?
Tony Storm. What I
Okay.
think honestly happened there is that they were trying to get Mercedes. Yeah, and like the backup plan was Tony Storm, this Tony Storm Shida angle, which is good. So Shida has inadvertently sort of cost Tony Storm. So obviously we're gonna build up to that match. Whoever Shida's gonna fight, is it gonna be Tony Storm? Is it gonna be Soraya? We'll see. Yeah. And then of course the main event was awesome. And the whole best of 7 series has been awesome.
Who's the main event? The
It
7th.
was the Trios Tag Team Championship.
Okay.
Yeah. Ladder match.
Ladder.
The ladder match, yeah.
Is it different type of matches each one of the 7?
No, they only changed it halfway through. Yeah,
Okay.
because again, the Death Triangle kept hitting the Elite with a hammer. So then they started putting the stipulations like force count anywhere, no disqualification, and then like now they did a ladder match, which was again the Elite versus Death Triangle, some of the best athletes in the world. You can imagine the craziness that they were doing with ladders. There's a thing about AEW, they do make me a bit worried sometimes with some of their spots. Because man, you're thinking, how are these people still alive?
I watched the Japanese one over the weekend with y'all. Was it last? Yeah, the weekend just went by, and they tried to kill each other. So is it that bad, or is it?
It's the same type of energy. Because again, see when Kenny Omega.
Stars, isn't it?
One thing that was very interesting, Kenny Omega came out with the belt. He came out with the US New Japan US title. So and they mentioned it straight up. He beat Will Ospreay. So I'm assuming, I reckon that rubber match has got to be probably Forbidden Door this year.
Like you said, you stated it, and you're very good at your calls, and you tend to be right on that, but you get no points for that. So I believe you on that.
But yes, the Elite beat the Death Triangle on your new Trios Championship. And to be honest, that whole series did what it was set out to do. It elevated those Trios Championships now. Yeah. Now, hopefully, we can keep them where they are. We can keep having good feuds and good builds, and good teams can come for those belts because it's a good idea.
Are there any other trios though?
Oh yeah, there is. House of Black. The Firm can like do it. Like hell, you can always just add somebody into there. There's the Blackpool Combat Club. Yeah, there's what's it? Best Friends and Orange Cassidy.
There's a few. They built the teams before they bought the title.
Yeah, this is it. You can easily do Billy Gunn and Acclaimed all as trios, you know.
Look, Jericho Appreciation Society is about if needs be.
Yeah, there you go.
Firm is about. So there's a few bits.
So there's actually a few teams. All right, cool. That's nice to hear.
And to be fair, I'm gonna.
Any recommendations for matches? Any recommendations, or should I watch the entire pay-per-view, or any matches I should definitely watch?
It's a show. It's Dynamite. It's not a pay-per-view.
No, I'm talking about like because you know, one of my things. I want to watch the entire show. I could do Rampage because that's 1 hour, but Dynamite is not 1 hour. So I'm going for Big Tone that's seen it. Should I watch the entire show overall, or should I just watch a certain match to get into it?
I would personally say if you got the time, watch the entire show because the entire show was excellent. But if you only got time to watch a couple of matches, watch Moxley versus Heyman and watch the main event. Yeah, like the trios tag match because that was absolutely crazy.
Cool. Thanks.
Cool.
I just want to hear that.
Cool. You know what, Tone? Thank you very much. That was a great summary. As I said, we were going to do a bit of expectations for 2023, and Nick just sent me a bit of a text for stuff. So on the WWE subject, his line was Vince to properly fuck off and stay gone. While we're talking trios title, he did say House of Black to become trios champ, and while we're talking the mystery tag partner, he's still hoping Mercedes makes an AEW debut, which could happen, may not.
You will, but that's not in the moment.
I think she's still going to turn up in WWE. I think she's in the Royal Rumble.
She's going to do what Cordona done, but not as big. She's going to go around, make a name to show that she is bigger than Sasha Banks, but she will come back and do her thing, and she will end in WWE for fact. It's facts. But she's just going to prove her name. She can make coin without it being Sasha Banks. That's exactly what she's doing right now.
Yeah, and eventually she will go back because again she's too much of a big star for WWE not to have her back. But I think again, some of these wrestlers, they like, you know, they've seen other people go out and do the blueprint. The biggest blueprint of them all is Cody Rhodes, and he might possibly be coming back to become the guy who dethrones Roman from his 3-year reign. So look, if they look at that and think, oh, let me just leave the company, go around to these other companies for a while, win championships, have me as the main eventer at all of these companies, I could see a lot of stars, you know, just doing this. It's like a sabbatical, isn't it?
Just think, reason why I'm saying that is if she comes at a Royal Rumble, not being signed with WWE, just a face on Royal Rumble, shows up on that, then shows up on AEW, she be the first person that's on WWE, New Japan, AEW. Then if she goes and do an Impact match, she's on Impact, do a Ring of Honor, she's in Ring of, just do a full tour and put WWE as part of like a part of the tour.
Yeah.
And Triple H loves her so much, I really think he could just go, you know what, I'll give you a platform for this one match and just let you go.
I actually
think you will come back.
I think it would be the other way. I think she'd probably walk out in Rumble 2024. Let her have a year of fun. Do 2 bits on New Japan. Do 2 bits with Tony Khan. And you don't have to sound like there are people who have turned up. Matt Cardona, for instance, had him. We all thought he was AEW. No, he's had 1 match with Cody and he pissed off. Like, do a bit in Ring of Honor. Elevate to AEW. Then let's start off with Impact. No disrespect to Impact, but you know what I mean. Just do those bits, and then I can see her doing AAA. Do you know what I mean? She will literally do a world tour and then Royal Rumble 2024, walk out.
Triple H would be massive if she does their Triple Mania. Yeah, like great, man, great stuff. I mean, obviously she's gonna light up for Stardom. She's gonna actually make me watch Stardom for the first time. I have nothing against women's wrestling. It's just, but I have so much wrestling to watch. You don't always get around to it. But a big star like Mercedes Moné has made me sort of like, you know,
money.
Yeah, money. She maybe take her notice, and you know what? She might even make other people follow her.
Yeah, I agree. So, on the topic of ladies, let's go back to. Yes, it's Ministry of Awards time. So this might be 1 show, it might be 2 shows. I might actually do 1 long show and then split it in 2. Hey, we need the views and we need the content. So, guys, let's just.
So, hey, I'm Dan the Tech. Welcome to the show. I'm just introducing myself right now.
Hey, yo.
Big Tone back in the zone.
That's the thing. We didn't even go out the zone, but hey, yeah.
This zone is so deep, it's double layered. You know what I'm saying? You go in, then in.
What is it like Ant-Man? You're doing the quantum zone now.
It's a different zone.
Yeah, so like, okay, guys, again, it's a double show, so this is explaining why one man still doesn't have a table and one man is still driving. But what we're going to do now, it's just give out the results of the Ministry Awards. The 7 days of Ministry is over, and here we are with another show, and it's time to announce our winners. So, guys, I'm just going to put out some of the fields that were there for our contenders, and then reveal who the winners were. So, the first show that we had was Female of the Year. Just a reminder, our contenders were Bayley, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. Who do you guys think took the picture?
Can you let us guess? And then give us the answer after. Who do you think
won?
Can. So, I think Jade Cargill won overall from the pick. My pick was Bayley, but I believe Jade Cargill won. What do you think, Big Tone?
I think Bianca won. My pick.
Your pick. Cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Too sweet. Big Tone won. Oh, my God.
With a score of 47.5% on, well, at the time I hadn't put that out on YouTube, so it was Bianca Belair. Oh, sorry, on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter, Bianca Belair got 47.5%.
She deserves it. Look, I love Jade Cargill, but the one thing I was thinking about it, because I remember when you first said it, I was thinking, oh, damn, Jade. But then I thought about it. Who has Jade really beat that was big stars, massive stars. She's just like Goldberg, a lot of nobodies, yeah. And like she's had a few, like actual feuds here and there, but she's not had that big bookmark match yet. I'm sure it's coming, yeah. And Jade has got many years, and she'll be great. But Bianca, ever since her title reign, she began her title reign at WrestleMania. She began it in the biggest way against one of the main eventers, Becky Lynch, and then has just continued to feud with her. She feud with Bayley. She feud with a couple of others as well. Yeah, she's really held it down this year.
See,
Can't do that. I mean,
well done.
Yeah, she was.
Bailey had no reason to be on that list, by the way. She was only on the list because I couldn't think of anyone, and I'm a big fan. No reason to be on that list. She came back in summertime and did nothing but lose.
Honestly, I think she should have got the belt back.
Listen, she's putting people over, and that's what it's about at this stage, and that's what you've got to respect. That is what you've got to respect. So I'm down with that.
Bailey.
So she is the bestest, as Bianca would say.
Yeah. She is the EST for the ministry. There we go. Hey. So congratulations to Bianca Belair, who dominated. Okay, here we go. Male Superstar of the Year. We're going to start from left to right because, hey, everyone wanted to know. I would love for Leon to have been here for this one. The returning Bray Wyatt, who is yet to still have a match. He's been here since whenever, 2022, 2023. He has still not been in the ring. The Tribal Chief and 2 titles holding Roman Reigns, or Mr. Entertainment himself, the honorary Uce, Sami Zayn. Gentlemen, which way did you see this go?
I'm not gonna lie, that picture is like the perfect analogy of how it is. You know the podiums, isn't it? Yeah, but you got the first. You got the first. That's exactly how it went, man.
Yo, for me, I'm still sticking with Sami Zayn because I do believe Sami Zayn has been the best entertainer, not saying wrestler, entertainer this year. It's not just the fact that he's now the biggest face, even as a heel in WWE. It wasn't just one storyline the entire year. He went from one thing to the next. And a lot of people think that the Bloodline elevated Sami Zayn. No, Sami Zayn elevated Bloodline. We'd have been bored with them by now. It'd have been, yeah, you keep winning and you got all the belts. But Sami came in and first had to fight his way into the group and then fight for exceptions and then even still fight for it. Then now it's the story is, when are they going to turn on him? So we're all watching it going, oh, we feel so sorry and we're so scared. We don't know when it's going to happen. But that's the beauty of Sami Zayn. Roman Reigns deserved to be there as well because Roman's been a dominant champ. But it's just been a champ that comes out, wrestle once in a while. Is a nice thing to see because he doesn't wrestle all the time anymore. But it's doing the same thing he did last year. He hasn't changed in my eyes. Bray Wyatt, I don't know why. Bray Wyatt's there because there's a person of dark characters, so he's on the list.
Let me just add a bit of context of that though. I feel Sami has been great, and if I didn't pick Roman, I would have picked Sami. But you can't have Sami without Roman. This is two sides of the same. No, not at all.
At the start of the year, there was no Roman. Sami was still killing it.
Look at SmackDown, just to speak. Yeah, the way Roman shouted at Sami. Yeah. Without that type of reaction, without knowing what a psycho the Tribal Chief is, it's nowhere near going to be as good for Sami. And then when Roman apologized, you're happy for Sami. So they're both driving the emotional force behind this storyline.
My thing is, what was Roman doing before Sami was trying to get himself into the group?
Oh, I can't remember who's
Exactly. Probably feuding with Brock Lesnar.
No, yeah, it was Brock Lesnar, and it was John Cena before that, wasn't it?
Okay. Before that, Sami was being the entertainer that he is, going out, I hate Jackass, I hate you, thing like that. He had a match with Johnny Knoxville. Yes, he's a stuntman, and he made it good. It was entertaining. It's going to come up later. You're going to see why it had no business being what it was.
It was a fun match.
Him shooting stuff off air. He having problems with it. Kevin Owens again. He's had a lot of little stuff over the entire time. So he was just there the entire time. Bloodline is just the latest of a long story with Sammy. The Bloodline has been the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Sammy elevated them in my eyes.
I would 100% agree. Sammy did elevate the storyline. What I'm saying is he brought out some of the best stuff from great people, like the whole Sammy Jey Uso dynamic as well. Excellent. They actually helped give a differentiation of characters to Jay and Jimmy. Jimmy's the cool one, Jay's the hothead.
But you see, out of all this, it matters not what I think, it matters not what you think. AJ, who won? And if you ever say Bray Wyatt, I'm gonna flip this table.
Yeah, Leon was the only one who voted against for all platforms. The official winner was the Tribal Chief. Of course, it had to be with 66.6%. He got 50% on Instagram, 100% on Twitter, and again 50% on YouTube. Roman Reigns.
No, how much did Bray get?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Come on, nothing.
So
just nothing and move on.
I do actually have the other figures here. And when it came to male superstar, we had
Bray got 1 and took it away from Sammy. It should have been a tie.
Roman
move on.
is at 66.6. Sammy was at 30.6. Bray Wyatt at 2.6%.
You know what? I was aiming for 3%, but like I highballed it.
Wow.
2.6%. Like legit.
Well done, Roman.
It was literally what it is. I've added all the percentages up, then I had to divide it by 3 because it was 300%, right?
Yeah.
Literally, he got 8% on one and 0% on 2 other platforms.
Roman deserved it though. Well done. As much as I pushed for Sammy, because that's my pick, and I think it's still my one, but it's not wrong because Roman. Well done.
Right. This one, I was actually shocked at how tough how badly someone got bad actually on this one. This is Tag Team of the Year. We're talking FTR, the Young Bucks, the Acclaimed, and the Usos.
Probably the closest one, isn't it?
Yeah,
no, there was one that had a very close score. I'll give you guys that one in a bit.
So, Big Tony, you want to go? Who do you think?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with I reckon the Usos one.
I think the Usos one as well. I don't think it should be the Usos.
Yeah,
actually, screw it. It's going to be the Usos because Bloodline has been dominating.
Yeah, right. So it's a bit of a spoiler on this one, right? I'll give the figures out because I was shocked. You guys said the Acclaimed, and I felt like an idiot for forgetting them.
I said the Acclaimed.
They only, so the Big Toe. They only got 25% on one poll. On the others, there was not a single vote for them. They came out with 8.3%. The Young Bucks came out at 21.3%, FTR at 31.3%, and the Usos won by 38.6%. Yeah,
Roman's gonna get pissed off at that. Roman's gonna be like, "Why you win by such a low score? You should win by a high score."
but they didn't call their shot. They didn't call their shots.
Do you want to be the Tribal Chief?
Yeah, you know what? To be honest, that whole thing, like a lot of that was based on how we felt about the teams.
Yeah.
If we're looking at stats or how they actually done, it's got to be the Usos, really.
Yeah, I know. I knew when I made my pick. I know everyone's gonna go for the Usos. But I went, what team did I like for 2020? And
look, FTR was not my personal team, but what they had done for the year, I felt needed to be respected, and that's why I went with them. But it is what it is. And as you said, Roman will be that guy because obviously, just a quick reminder, the Bloodline were the faction of the year, 100% from the ministry. No need to put it out there because there was no one else people can vote for.
If anyone said anything else, I would have found my way through the screen just to go, come on, guys.
Not House of Black.
No, Bray Wyatt family.
I was going to say, the Wyatt Six.
The Wyatt
at Extreme Rules, we saw all the different characters on Firefly Funhouse.
The Wyatt Six, yeah.
The best faction of the year. Sorry, homeboy.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one is comeback of the year. Contenders were Stone Cold Steve Austin, Saraya, formerly Paige, Bray Wyatt, and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes.
That's a lovely picture of Saraya, by the way.
Thank you. Look.
Right, who do you think took the victory?
Saraya, my pick. That's what I think took the victory. Simple. She's the only one that actually did a comeback of the year. No one came back. Everyone came back to WWE. She came back to wrestling.
Stone Cold was a comeback, really.
Man, it wasn't a comeback. Everyone thought it was a talk show. And then when there's a match, everyone's like shocked by the match. Then we saw the worst stunner in the world. And we're like, oh, hey, it's Stone Cold. But it was an appearance. It wasn't a comeback. That's what I got.
I would still say it's a comeback because, again, he's not a part of WWE television. He just came in for that one special. It's his first match in, 11 years?
Match. But he's been a host. He's been there. He's been on the TV for quite some time. And he never left because he was injured or anything. He just left. But someone got told she will never, ever wrestle again. And out of the 3 people that never come back again, you thought, right, Daniel Bryan's made it back. But you know what? He's been saying he's going to come back all this time. And he really wanted to come back. Edge, big shocker, but he came back. Oh, I'm so scared. Don't hurt yourself. But he felt good. Saraya she's never going to be there. They're giving everything to her to do something. And she was always on the paycheck. She was always in part of WWE, but never wrestling. She was going to come back, but never as a wrestler. And yes, I said on the pay-per-view she came back, I betted against her to win. That cost me a point. So I'm hating you on that. But she was the only one that came back to wrestling.
Then I agree. I call it the trifecta.
But the winner is Cody Rhodes.
I think the winner is actually
the trifecta. Right, here we go. Are you ready, Den? Because this hurt me because I agreed with you on this. Saraya got 7%. Literally 21% on one ball. I was shocked as hell. In second place was Stone Cold Steve Austin with 14.6%.
Some bad match.
So in third place was Bray Wyatt with 39%. Well, but it was tight because the winner was Cody with 39.3%. Cody beat Bray Wyatt by 0.3%. So on
but you know what? I think that's very understandable because I'm going to guess a lot of people who's probably voting are WWE guys, yeah. And they probably might not have seen Cody's stuff, what he's doing over in AEW. I don't know. This is just purely speculation. But if you haven't seen him for like how many years, this was genuinely a comeback for him.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Bray Wyatt got them many votes because Leon must have a lot of different accounts. Well done, Leon, for creating all those accounts and voted on that one thing. Because as much as I pick Saraya, the winner, as I said, was going to be Cody. I started off by saying sorry, but yeah, it's just
Bray Wyatt
biggest pop of the year.
Bray Wyatt is understandable. Remember, like the hype around Extreme Rules when everyone thought he was coming back.
Yeah,
when he did.
Yeah,
there was a lot of theories.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we move on swiftly. Show of the year. The contenders were WrestleMania 38, Forget WWE Live, Clash at the Castle, and Forbidden Door. Which one do you think took the victory?
Right, for me, I'm still sticking with Forbidden Door for the simple fact WrestleMania over 2 nights. I know Big Tom was talking about night 1. Problem is, watching 2 nights of wrestling back to back is hard. But that the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, I said it in my review beforehand. I went in, me not being the wrestling fan, sat there and watched the opening match and went, oh my God, this looks so good. Then watched the other match and went, that was so good. Don't ask me who thought, what the card was, what the main event was, anything like that. It was just banger after banger after banger. For me, pay-per-view of the year, and I don't care what anyone else has voted. That's still the pay-per-view of the year. Not just for me, general. I'm being. If you don't like that as the main pay-per-view of the year, you're an idiot. You have to love that one. I'm gonna be that.
Well, let me ask you a question. AEW Forbidden Door or Wrestle Kingdom?
AEW Forbidden Door. Wrestle Kingdom, we skipped matches and we felt no way about skipping certain matches.
No. Like we watched it, we only didn't see the end. We only didn't see the final.
No,
match.
but I'm talking about like some of the start. We could watch it and going, oh, okay, this is a match going on, and we were talking to each other. We were having conversations. When Forbidden Door was on, the conversation stopped, and when that happens, that means we're locked in. That one match on Wrestle Kingdom, when everyone went quiet and started watching it, there's a reason for that. But this was the entire pay-per-view that happened for the entire pay-per-view. So that's why I think it's when it draws your attention that much to being when you're around someone that don't watch wrestling that much, someone that don't give two craps, someone that cares a bit too much, someone wants to prove a point, and another person just there to chill. But everyone's just. And then after the match, what did we talk about? We talked about the match we just saw. That's how good the pay-per-view is when that happens to you.
Fair play.
So anyway, what was your one? Give you your vote, Big Tone, and why is it wrong?
Honestly, I reckon people are gonna vote WrestleMania. Like it's very close between that and Clash because Clash was excellent. There was a lot of special moments about Clash, like when Edge came out and everyone sung. So I wouldn't surprise me if it was Clash, but I think more people will go for WrestleMania.
Right. With 22.6% Forbidden Door, 38% Clash at the Castle, 39.3% was the winner for WrestleMania 38. There we are.
You got look, one of the things you got to actually consider. WrestleMania is the most special event of the year. And this is the first really good one in quite a few years. So I think people are still high from it.
Oh, I get it. But for me, it took me, it got me in there. It got me eating popcorn at someone's house. And I don't really eat popcorn. I finished, man, I had to pop more popcorn and I finished that one as well. I was like a crackhead. Oh my God. They are trying to kill each other. This is real. This is real, right? This is not scripted. This is real. They're really fighting. Oh my God. That's what it was. That's what it was like for me.
Indeed.
And I lost that one as well.
So the next one is match of the year. We have Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville, WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns, Clash at the Castle. Hell in a Cell, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Clash at the Castle, Gunther versus Sheamus. And Forbidden Door, Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy. So what I'd done on this one, guys, we had the Mania, Hell in a Cell, and Forbidden Door, and the two clashes went off, and it broke down to Hell in a Cell and so Cody versus Seth and Gunther versus Sheamus for the ultimate battle in the end. Who do you think got the ultimate match of the year?
Big Tone, I'll let you go first. That's fine.
It's got to be Seth and Cody. I think people just have so much respect for that moment. I would actually pick this, but I just had so much fun with the main event of Clash at the Castle that I had to pick that. But if I go by logic, people are gonna pick Seth versus Cody.
I agree with you, Big Tone. I'm thinking they're gonna pick Seth versus Cody. Simple fact, that jacket coming off and that big purple spot. It was like, oh my God, we've got to give it up for this man for what he's doing for us right now. I have not seen the match, but I've seen the bruise. And the reason why I didn't put any Clash match on there was the fact that I was there live, and it's a different show watching it live than watching it on a pay-per-view. Live, you get that buzz of the audience, the people around you, the atmosphere. It feels 10 times better than you go home and watch it on TV and going, oh, why everyone's singing? I can't hear the chants. So this is why I don't put the clashes on there. But that Cody bruise, I need to watch that match. I really do need to watch that match. I don't know why I haven't yet. But yeah, that's my pick.
So you guys are correct. They won by 60%, and Gunther versus Sheamus got 40%. So that was indeed the match of the year. Okay, guys, I'm going to speed this one up a bit because I do have to go. The oh my God moment of the year. We have the heel turn from William Regal at Full Gear, which gave MJF the title. Cody Rhodes, Vince retiring, or Dominic turns his back on his dad at Clash at the Castle.
Cool. We all know what the number one should be. the Vince retiring should be number one. I can't believe I never thought of that, but I picked Cody Rhodes because we all knew he was coming back. We were all waiting for him to come back. But watching him rise at WrestleMania with his theme song and that big ass tattoo on his neck, dressed as Cody Rhodes, not Stardust or anything like that. It was the Cody Rhodes we all been watching on the indie scene. That was a, oh my God, he's here. Yeah.
I'm 100%. Again, like I said, I've got to go with Cody as well, because that moment when we was all sitting there and he come out and we all cheered, we was all back at school and everything cheering, like that was a special moment. I feel that translated for a lot of fans, even though Vince retiring is, it's history. It's very significant, but I don't feel that's going to translate to.
He's back. History.
It was history.
It was history.
Short history, but it was history.
Right. Okay. Sadly, Vince got 18.3%. Dom got 21.3%. Cody Rhodes got 29.6%. And I don't know how this happened, but William Regal got 34% of the votes.
But that was obvious.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I've got to wrap because it's gone slightly over the hour that we intended. But guys, thank you all for your votes. The ministry will be back next week. Right. So again, MOW News on Twitter, Ministry of Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, hit us up. We will keep doing what we keep doing. So until the next time, I am the Da1AJ, Anthony Jordan.
Then Tech, then The Tech, without the catchphrase.
Big Toad out the zone, man. Have a good one.
Okay, guys, that's the one. We will be back next week. So until then, we out.